Happy December 3rd!
Yay!
Sunday morning.
We're making bacon.
We're making bacon.
Bacon, some eggs, pancakes, the works.
Yep, it's 10:15. We're a little slow this morning, but it's Sunday, so we're allowed to be. So I just finished filming episode number 49 of Driftless Knitting, and I just want to show you my setup. I used it's super high tech. I used a laundry basket, and then on top of that I put my super cool book stand. Here, let me open that up so you can see it. That goes down like that. So I kind of rest my phone on my book stand, and then I put that on top of this laundry basket, because yeah, we're really high tech here. And there's my pile of knitting, and I was sitting on the bed this week, so that's where I was. A little insider glimpse to the podcaster life. And there's Seaver. Hi, Seaver.
Hi.
We're about to go out to take a walk because it's supposed to be really nice out today. And we have our twinkly lights going. And it's so cozy. We had a really great morning.
It's a cool little home.
Seaver found his house.
Yeah. It needs lights and a satellite dish and a little campfire.
That'll help. It is December 4th, and I'm talking very quietly because Seaver is upstairs sleeping. But I am getting ready to go meet my dad and my Oma for some coffee and knitting at the sow's ear again. And I am just sitting and sipping on my first cup of coffee. And I thought I would do a little bit of winding of my minis while I watch some Vlogmas episodes. And then I have my mini number 4 to open from my advent calendar. Yeah, so I'm really enjoying. There's a few Vlogmas episodes that I have to catch up on. Seaver and I got home yesterday and just watched a movie and relaxed, and it was a really, really nice night. So, and I edited my own podcast, which should be up by now. So go and watch episode 49 of Driftless Knitting. So yeah, I'm going to do that for the next half hour before I leave. And yeah, I'll take you along with me to the sow's ear again.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Don we now our bright apparel. Join the ancient Yuletide carol. Fa la 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 la, fa la 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 la, fa la la. See the blazing Yule before us. Strike the harp and join the chorus. Follow me in merry measure, while I tell of Yuletide treasure. Fa la 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 la, fa la 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 la, fa la la. Fa la 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 la, fa la 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 la, fa la la. Fast away the old year passes. Hail the new year, lads and lasses. Sing we joyous all together, heedless of the wind and weather. Christmas chorus, fa la 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 la, 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 fa la 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 la.
I got a bunch of errands done today, and now I'm home. It is about 3. Oh my gosh, it's already 20 after 3. I've kind of picked up the house, cleaned a little bit. I am in my favorite sweater, my pothead sweater, which I think is just hilarious. Obviously, it's a Harry Potter reference, that I'm a Harry Potter nerd. But I think it's really funny that it, like, pothead. Yeah, anyway, my humor, I don't know. Yeah, so I am about to pour myself a cup of coffee because it's time for my afternoon coffee, and I got kind of everything settled, dishes done, bathroom cleaned, apartment picked up, and I'm gonna watch some Vlogmas episodes, get some knitting done, because Christmas knitting, people, it's for real right now. So I have a couple handmade things out. I did not make these, but this table runner was made by my Oma. She is a fantastic quilter, and this is, I think, my second or third year having this. I also, underneath the cup of coffee that I just brought over, I have these handmade coasters. My Oma made those as well. I have that one, and then over in my, oh boy, living with a knitter, there is yarn everywhere. Poor Seaver. I have a couple more there. Those are my Christmas themed ones that I break out, and then I have a couple of everyday ones that are tucked in there. And those are, like I said, made by my Oma as well. She is a wonderful quilter and sewer and knitter and stitcher, and she does everything. I have a quilt here too that she made. Actually, both of these she made. So the one in the back is a machine-made quilt. It's kind of my autumn-themed one. You can see the colors on there, and there's leaves. I don't know if you'll be able to see. But yeah, it's kind of autumn-colored, autumn-themed. I'm messing everything up. Sorry. And then the one down here is really, really special. This is one that she made me when I wasn't even in high school, I don't think. I love, I guess it's kind of weird to say, like, pioneering history. I'm fascinated by it and appalled by some of the things that happened while America was being settled to the West. But I love reading about the history of it, and I have since I was a child. So my Oma knew that and found this motif a lot of people recognize. It's called Sunbonnet Sue and Sunbonnet Sam, and I loved it because it reminded me of the pioneers. She made this for me probably when I was maybe 11 or 12, and what's amazing, really amazing about this is that all of the fabric is, let me just get a little closer, all of the fabric is recycled flour sacks. So a long time ago, flour sacks were made with fabric, actually, instead of paper or like a plastic sort of canvasy material. So all of the printed fabric that you see there are all recycled flour sacks. I'm not sure where she got these, but I just absolutely adore it. And the other thing I love about it is that a lot of this is, the pieces were not hand sewn, but all of this back stitching on each of the little characters here, all of that was hand done by my Oma. And I had this, it's a twin size quilt, so I had this on my bed for a few years, maybe really only 1 or 2, because I noticed at one point that it was separating. There was like a seam, I'm not sure where it is on the quilt, but it was starting to separate. The fabric was coming apart. The seam was coming apart, I guess, and I freaked out. I was probably about 14 or 15 at this point, and I took it off my bed because I was afraid that I was just going to ruin it. Even though, you know, it's great if it's used, I just treasure this. My Oma is a very important person in my life, and the fact that she made this for me, especially for me, I want to have it for the rest of my life, and I love having it on my quilt rack and just seeing it every day. So yeah, those are my special things made by my dear one and only Oma.
Come, they told me, pa-ra-pa-pum-pum, a newborn king to see, pa-ra-pa-pum-pum, our finest gifts to bring, pa-ra-pa-pum-pum, to lay before the king, pa-ra-pa-pum-pum, ra-pa-pum-pum, ra-pa-pum-pum. So to honor him, pa-ra-pa-pum-pum, baby Jesus.
Last night, I ended up finishing the project for my sister, and I started a new project. Oh, this lighting is really bad. I was talking in my podcast episode 49, which should have gone up today, which is December 4th. I talked about how I bought new yarn at Knit Circus to knit a Christmas present for someone, and I'm pretty sure that they watched the podcast, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I wanted to show you how pretty this yarn is. This is one of our Impressionist colorways, and so it's kind of speckly, but it will still gradient into, so it starts with like a dark purple, and it will gradient to a gray, which I think is really, really pretty. And this colorway is called Mistress of Myself Impressionist. We do have a Mistress of Myself just regular gradient, which is just like kind of chunks of color changing. But this one has the kind of speckly look to it. And I'm knitting the Bandana Cowl by Pearl Soho. And I really, really love this pattern. It goes up so quick. Like, I just started this last night, and I wasn't going to go into too much detail, but oh well. I just started this last night, and I'm probably more than halfway done. It does call for a bulky yarn, but I am knitting it out of a worsted. I just went down in needle size, and the size is going to be perfectly fine, so I just wanted to knit it out of this yarn, and I thought it'd be really pretty. And it's working out pretty well. So we'll see what the finished product looks like, but I'm really not like worried at all. So, okay, I will talk to you again soon.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly.